Y'all better get comfortable with saying black.
Black versus the Board of Education.
Cause we came here, rid of us now. We in here, yeah, we in here. Cause we came here, rid of us now. And you know that we won't ever go, so you do what you want.
That's why we are indeed a whole mood.
That's it.
Thank you, Isaiah. And if I never ever had a sound, the sound effect board, I wish I had one today because that would have been a perfect time to get some horns going or something. But welcome to another episode of Black versus the Board of Education. My name is Miss Laureen, and I am the captain of the ship. And as usual, I like to roll with my posse. I do. I like to roll with them. And we have some special guests in studio, and the temperature is already heating up. And I know y'all can feel it because I can feel it. And I know I am not going through menopause just yet. But it is hot in here, y'all. And you got nerve to have on a beanie. So what I'm going to do.
I'm layered.
Before I introduce my special guest and tell you all about the ruckus we gon' put forth, I want to let y'all know who's in the building from the BVBOE team. So I'm going to start with this gentleman right next to me. We're going to go around the table. Then we're going to go onto the screen and pull up our other co-hosts. So take it away, sir.
How y'all doing? I'm Mr. Fox in the building.
And you already started cutting up. I don't know what's wrong with you. Well, didn't you ask P to write a poem for you or about you or to recite the one that she wrote for you? Which one was it?
All of the above. But we've yet to hear the beautiful words yet. So
we're going to come to her. We're going to come to her.
But I know it's going to be special.
It's going to be special yes. Because it's about you, right?
Phenomenal, man.
Phenomenal. Bye. Right next to you. Go ahead, Mr.
Phenomenal man.
How's everybody doing? Mr. Chastain, happy to be here. Glad to be here.
I'm glad to see you, sir. And right next to you is
James. Glad to be here too.
I'm glad James is here because James, you don't know about all the shenanigans me and the ladies get into on our off hours. But we'll make sure to fill y'all in a second. And we're gonna pop right quick on screen. We have our longest running co-host, my baby girl, tapping in all the way from her college. So go ahead and introduce yourself, baby.
Hi, everyone. My name is Melissa. I'm a student at UC Berkeley. And Fox, I can write a poem for you. I got you.
Let me know that I've been respecting y'all up in here. Then, man, y'all feel my energy flexing. Because I'm really for y'all.
Stop flexing on my girl like that.
Thank you.
And we have a new co-host joining the discussion today, all the way from Sac State land. You are from the Disability Justice Club, right? That's what.
Yes, ma'am. Hello, everyone. How you doing? I'm Bowley. I'm a Sac State student, and I am the president and founder of the Disability Justice Club on campus.
Oh, fantastic. We got the president and founder of the Disability Justice Club joining the discussion. And we are so happy to see you. And I know my sisters are too. And before we go to them, I mean, I'm gonna come to you right now, but I'm hoping they can impart some words, something to just get the mood set just right. Or, help me out, sis. What you got for me?
I got a little something for you, sis.
Okay, let me hear it.
It's not the poem for Fox, though.
Okay.
Yes, you guys aren't welcome to hear that.
They don't care if the youth get high at school, long as the youth get by at school. Get by institutionalized racism and intergenerational oppression systems that keep prison pipelines thriving and standardized test categorizing. Even if all we have is this poetry, let it be enough to swim through this poverty. Probably there's a youth posted near your block right now, having to make the choice of being broke and go to school or come up the only way they know how. It may seem crazy, but poetry can save lives. And if spoken word can save souls, then why don't more youth know that they can go to poetry night and learn to love to write? They can break generational curses through dope hooks and spoken word verses. And I'm definitely still learning, a true work in progress. I already know no struggle, no progress, but these dreams, they keep me up at night, thinking about life in the youth, thinking about the right words to move you, thinking about how our youth are going to get through, thinking about the prison and school to prison pipeline and how they break that too. The youth are the truth.
like it.
So listen, now you got to tell them who you are because that was fire.
Okay, word. Yeah. Give thanks. My name is Patrice Hill. I'm director of Sacramento Area Youth Speaks, but I've also been doing work in this community for over 2 decades. I'm an educator, a poet, an artivist, and I really believe that young people have the potential to do anything they want to, but there's so many barriers that they have to navigate through school, through community, and I'm here to help break them.
I love it. And right next to you, the lovely queen, right next to you, who is this?
Hello, Denisha Coco Blossom Bland. I'm the associate director of SAYS, also a poet, an educator, and an advocate for the hood. I'm just here to speak with you today, sis.
She said, I'm an educator for the hood. Okay, well, welcome to Elk Grove. Welcome to Elk Grove. So just for folks who are not familiar, and I know we do have one other co-host joining, and I'm trying to figure out if his computer ever got connected, and I don't see that it has. So if we can figure that out for Mr. Daniel, that'd be great. We do have another co-host that will be joining eventually. But just for those of listening Radio Land who are not familiar with SAYS, can you tell us what SAYS is?
Absolutely.
So SAYS is an outreach program of UC Davis where we really go into the schools and find safe spaces for youth to become change agents and authors of their own lives, as well as just exposing them to higher education and giving them a safe space to find their voice.
I love it.
And I'll add that, we're a social justice movement.
Yeah.
We use critical literacy, poetry, spoken word, hip hop, and the curation of culturally relevant curriculum to reach young people in schools. Young people, especially Black students, do not see themselves authentically reflected in the curriculum. No. And it's our duty to help break those barriers so that they can see themselves, but also speak and write their truths inside school.
And you said a mouthful. Basically, they get to it.
Yeah.
And so the reason why we're having this conversation today, and I forgot to mention what the conversation was, this is equity on mute when DEI programs get cut despite data showing a need. And we're not going to sugarcoat anything today because too many people be out here playing. The fact of the matter is there are different systems that employ different people, and because they believe they are so-called people of color, that they are going to go in and do the things that they expect Black people to do when Black people are hired in the same role.
Right.
Okay. So when we're hired in specific roles, we are supposed to look out for everybody, right? But when we have people who are hired in their roles are to focus on everybody but us. And so it's this crazy phenomenon that has continued to go on. And I would posit probably since Brown versus the Board of Education, where they systemically dismantled the education infrastructure as we knew it. And I see that our other co-host is ready to join the conversation. So before I go and I see there he is. Hey, there he is. Okay. So let me add him to the conversation right now. And go ahead, sir. I want you to introduce yourself because I can talk forever and ever. So go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us something spectacular about you and we'll get right back into the discussion.
All right. How y'all doing? I'm Daniel Wells. I'm a freshman Sac State kinesiology major.
Okay.
And I volunteer here at BOLP, specifically BBSN.
Okay. And we're going to try to look for some headphones for you because I hear quite an echo behind you. I don't know if it's somebody's computer or whatever it is. But if somebody can either turn their sound down or off on one of those other devices, maybe we can cut down on some of that echo coming through. But first of all, I want to say Stingers Up because we are proud alumni, Patrice and I. Are you an alumni, Stinger?
UC Davis Aggie.
No. We said Stingers Up, sis. I was right.
I know. I heard all that Sac State in the room. I'm like, wait a minute.
Well, we welcome the Aggies into this space, although Causeway Classic, it should be coming up soon.
Yeah. I think it's coming up.
Okay. So we'll see y'all on the field.
Yeah.
But other than that,
y'all bringing all that to UC Davis, huh?
All of it, all of that energy, all of it. But like I said, this conversation is equity on mute. We're going to really delve into kind of what you all are seeing on the ground as a critical literacy program in our schools. And, Sac County released their Black student landscape last year. Now, there were supposed to be a lot of movement. as it related to Black children, because we know that they are underserved, over-policed, overexposed to the punitive side of things, and nobody's really focusing on what it is they need to be successful. And that is the whole purpose of equity. So I just want to know, what are y'all seeing? Because before we let everybody jump in here and start asking questions, I want to know, what is it that you're seeing that is concerning? Because I have my own ideas, but I'm gonna go ahead and pass that to you.
Absolutely. I'll start with, I really feel like DEI is being scapegoated. It's being criminalized as a term, whereas we don't need DEI. And the whole point is DEI works, and it works more for non-Black populations than it does for actual Black folks.
How about that?
And so what we're seeing is across California, universities through K through 12 institutions are changing the names of equity-centered programs. And what's concerning about that is folks are saying they're changing the names and still going to do the work, but we know what happens when program names change. That's just the beginning of institutional cutbacks. And we've been trying to do this work for over 20 years, and we're barely moving the needle. So when you're talking about programs that center equity or center Black students and underrepresented populations, we were barely moving the needle with DEI programs in place.
Well, because they specifically benefited white women the most.
Exactly.
Nobody wants to talk about that.
And what concerns me is there are institutions of higher education that are changing their DEI office names. And so when we have universities that are not going to stand up to the current administration, we know that K through 12 districts are not far behind.
Right.
And we also know that programs that center quote unquote underrepresented students, specifically Black students, there already were so few. And so I feel like this is a narrative to cut the programs that are there. And what we're seeing at school sites are that programs like ours are being cut out of the school day.
Right.
And pushed into after school or pushed into community programming, where those not as much as it could during the school day. We know that young people need community programs like Black Youth Leadership Project, like SAYS, to be on the school campuses during the school day. And that gives them a different type of support to navigate not only institutionalized racism that happens at these schools, but over discipline policies that disproportionately affect Black students. We had a county study from Dr. Luke Wood and Tyrone Howard that showed that these school districts are suspending Black children more than any other school district in the state
for the same behaviors,
for the same
as their counterparts.
And so we know that this is just the beginning. If this is what's happening this quick, then what are we supposed to expect 3 to 5 years down the line?
And just seeing an attack altogether, like on the naming, we have Black Girl Civics, Sac Girl Civics, certain things that we named was for Black youth that now they're asking us to change or asking us to take off our website. I was like, I ain't got no access to that website. I gotta say, but really seeing those attacks, and it's like, come on now, we got to really take the Black out of there. Oh, just name it Girl Civics or just name it this.
But why?
It's for Black girls. It's for Black girls.
And that's okay.
And the attack is coming for the Black girls because it's already a big attack on Black women, right? We've been know the attack was on Black men, right? They feel like they got them out the way. So now, so far advanced in civil rights movement, you have all these Black women that are in influential positions doing big things. So with this DEI cut, we come a part of that a little bit too with it. You know what I'm saying? And then it's just like it trickles all the way down to now. It's like attack our Black girls. So we've been seeing that a lot.
Melissa, I'm gonna kick it to you first because you have been a beneficiary of some of the things that we've done here at Black Youth Leadership Project. Can you tell us, one, why they were important to how they've shaped you as a youth, and two, what is it that concerns you about what you see around you currently?
Yeah, so I've been with BYLP since I was 14, maybe. I think it was like going into my freshman year of high school. And I started with just BYLP through Legislative Open House. on Zoom. And then I joined Black Girl Support Network. And that was really helpful because it was during COVID. And so we couldn't go out, couldn't communicate with people. I didn't have a lot of friends at that time transitioning from middle school to high school. And so being able to be surrounded, even if it was online, by other people who looked like me and people who made it very clear that they cared about me was extremely helpful for my confidence and my development. And that helped me become the person I am today. Without BYLP, I wouldn't have been able to do all of the really great leadership things I've done that helped me get into UC Berkeley. And then on top of being a student at UC Berkeley at a university, DEI is a very, very heavily talked about topic at university campuses in general. And it's very scary to think about because I'm a part of so many different programs that are centered around the Black community. I want to be an African-American studies professor, and knowing that a lot of the programs that I'm in right now, we are having major budget cuts. A lot of things I'm not supposed to say, but like specifically, but a lot of the programs I'm in are having major budget cuts that affect a lot of the things that I'm currently trying to do and set up for my future. So it's a lot, but programs like BYLP, programs like SES, all of those things really matter. And even changing the names of things not only diminishes or what they're trying to do diminishes the program, but it also takes away from the people who need it to be able to find it. If it's just not Black Girl Support Network, but Girl Support Network, the Black girls may not feel like they can go there because there's been plenty of programs that have been titled that I didn't go to, but I saw Black Girl Support Network through BYLP that I ended up going to. And so things like those that really take away from the communities that need them the most.
Mr. Fox.
You want me to answer?
No, I don't want you to answer. Do you have a question or?
I don't have a question, but I was listening to what you guys were saying, and I just see that when I think of DEI, it's like not being able to say you Black.
You're
real.
invisible.
When I hear her say the things that I can't say, the only thing when I know somebody like Melissa, the only thing that she can't say is the one thing that we've taught her to be proud of being. I'm Black and I'm smart, and I'm Black and I'm proud of it. And I'm Black and I have heritage, and I'm Black and I know how to cook this food. And so and so. And I'm Black and I want my sister to be strong. And when I look at things like DEI being taken away, not just from the schools, I look at other things that it takes away from. I wouldn't be sitting next to you if it wasn't for things like DEI. Somebody had to specifically learn about what my particular problem was. And being Black and being locked up, incarcerated at a young age, at 14, and come to me through DEI. I'm gonna say what I'm not supposed to say, but I'm gonna say it anyway because this has no bearing on. Even though I'm a member here, I'm just gonna say it. A white man never told me to pull my pants up. A Hispanic man never told me don't call that Black woman no B word. And again, no disrespect to other races, but an Asian man ain't never told me to respect my mother. All those things took from a different Black man that didn't live next door to me. It took Chastain. It's other people I met while incarcerated. But I also look at how did I get incarcerated. But I also look at the studies that helped me become from incarcerated, SB 260, SB 261, where they proved you was locking us up the same way you taking little kids' education. That proved you was locking us up at an early age, fresh up out of juvenile high. Those studies were designed to look at how are you doing it. The studies that make you be able to go into school grounds. The most disproportionate suspended kid in the school ground in Elk Grove was who?
Black boys.
How did we find that out? So it's like you're trying to cover up some more. It's just another sweep of covering up and not letting them have it. And you can't. It's foul for me to say that I build myself up. I've come out of prison and here I am, and I'm healed and I'm healthy and I'm still learning. And the very thing that has me healthy and able to stand strong for you and you as a sister and you as my brother and apologize to you in your eyes as a brother and say I'm wrong is the one thing that I now have to deny and say, no, I'm not with that. And I can't reach that youth right there that's having a problem either because he's Black.
I think that you better get comfortable with saying Black.
That's hurtful.
And to grow up in that system, right? Because being from Sacramento, moving to Elk Grove, right? When we started moving into that and seeing how Elk Grove School District started taking us out, the school to prison pipeline, my brother living through that, me living through that, being kicked out of Valley High School myself, you know what I'm saying? And they're still going through that. I'm in my good there 40s. They still going through that,
right with
you
you,
know, now 20 years later, we still fighting this same thing in Elk Grove School District. Like y'all still don't get the picture?
It's funny you say that because I was on the school grounds recently. And when I say recently, I mean 3 months ago, where a kid told me this while we was handling the problem of them being called N-words on the school campus.
Yeah.
He said, my mom went to the school and she told me not to even worry about it because they was calling her that.
Same thing was happening.
And my sister went to this school too, and she said the same thing. And her like, and now here
when
it is.
do we say that's not okay? You know, we have to train these babies. Don't even worry, oh, it happened to me. No, that's not okay. It's not okay for your teacher to be calling generations of your families niggas on a campus that y'all know Black people is coming to.
How about that?
What's the percentage of Black people in Elk Grove?
You know, it's even more messed up. You sent us in there to deal with our babies because you couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
Right? You sent us in there to deal with our babies
and you
because
getting a check.
And now you said. So what you're saying is remove the help for our babies so that they can be the animals that you claim they was from 21 Jump Street so that you can restart again that prisoner pipeline. We've been disturbing that thing.
Yeah.
We've been they say it's been woke.
Yeah.
We've been out here. We've been let it be known. And the men that you've been talking about has been gone from society. We desperately trying to reintegrate.
And now they're trying to take our young babies though. They let y'all out 40 years removed that y'all trying to make up for all this stuff that they done did to y'all. Now they trying to take our babies.
They made a mistake. They thought they were sending docile men home. So they thought they was going to be sending the men home that, oh, you did 40 years. So yeah, we whooped you. You go, no, I'm still standing up.
Yeah,
my brother's still standing up. And now they're like, we got to do something different.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, our bad. We went on a quick one.
It's been a go.
And I love the energy. But I want to integrate some of our young people on the screen into the conversation. So, Daniel, you hear the discussion. Tell us what's going on from your perspective on your campus, or do you have a question for the ladies? Let us know what's happening.
At Sac State, we're at least I'm a part of a program that empowers young Black men to graduate. It's called MEND, and I guess that's a way that we're fighting the restrictions of DEI.
Okay.
Somebody echoing.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'm not gonna lie.
Got it.
One more time, your program is called, is it Men?
Amen.
A2.
You know.
Okay.
And Valdi, we want to get your voice in here too. What is something that you're noticing? What are you seeing?
Well, I think some of the biggest issues when it comes to DEI, when it comes to DEI,
when it comes to DEI and equity, you're seeing various issues.
Yeah, and the biggest issue is that the people who are making these policies are the people who are in the community.
Ooh, okay. And so I'm a translate real quick loosely for you. He said the biggest problem is the people that are making the policies are not from the community in which they're impacting.
Come on, baby.
So I say that because, like, for me personally, I got into disability. I got into disability justice. The reason I had to declare elected in the first place is because I had administration comments that that conversations I was asking for were unfair to other people who didn't have disabilities.
Gotcha.
I have people who come with that, us having support, us having the resources to fill in the gap that is created from the disequity is unfair to people who never said my issue in the first place.
They ain't got a disability at all.
If we're going to talk about DEI, we're going to talk about how to improve our community. Yeah. We need people who actually understand the problem to participate in creating the policy for our community. That's what is missing. If we cannot expect us to get, we cannot expect our politicians, our administrators, to improve our situation if they don't understand the problem themselves. So
They don't even know nobody with a disability.
No.
So, in my personal opinion, it's like number one, it requires us collectively to speak up, to vocalize, to properly speak on the issue. Number one, but also we also have to create the solutions. Because we are the only people that understand the problem. I cannot expect a white person or a non-disabled person to create a policy to benefit my community.
Come on.
If they rather exclude the community.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, that kind of right I came here, that kind of right I connect with y'all. Because I think part of having a solution is to appropriately, part of having those solutions is to effectively communicate the problems and speak upon the issues of our community. And that can only happen from the people in the community. But I think the biggest issue we have collectively is that there is not enough Black men and Black women and men or women of color to come up and speak up and get concerns. And as a consequence, we have these white politicians or politicians in power who are not connected to the community, making policies that benefit themselves instead of the actual people.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I noticed that when I went to their meetings too.
What's that?
They don't have so I've been tapping in with the Sac brothers. Miss Daniel, Mr. Vowdy, we've been going down it. But one of the things that Mr. Vowdy, as you was there when I met him, I locked in with that brother within all of 10 seconds, right? Because I noticed what they wasn't doing. The brother had something to say and they wasn't hearing him. You have to have patience to hear him. So what I noticed in their community was, yes, Black people, we had the heart. I seen him, I saw him and all that, but they didn't have nobody in their community that talks as well as maybe you would talk or you with a poem could talk about their community. Everybody can say, oh, he's disabled, but do you actually know the pains that a disabled person goes through when they're going through I don't actually know. I have the energy to say, hey, that wheelchair needs a ramp. But if you're somebody from that community, and it's easily to be able to tell, because you could tell when you go to pick the person up, that person says, hey, watch that. You got to watch that. They don't have the people in the community that does that to speak up. The people in the community that are like that unfortunately are disabled themselves.
Yeah.
And this is not a diss or a pun. What I'm saying is sometimes it takes a more patient person to I'm long-winded, but I'm long-winded and you can hear me. My boy's long-winded, and it takes him a different way to form his words. Who's going to be a Trojan horse to listen to that while they're making a policy? You can hear me and say, hey, this is my pain. But can you hear his pain to be able to initiate a policy or to be able to better represent them? And then within their community, it's kind of like the homeless. You see a lot of people they're getting money for being homeless. But the real homeless people, they downtown. They don't talk. They got the blanket over him. You don't give him $1 because he didn't ask you for it, and he's not going to.
Yeah.
But he needs the help. He has a mental problem. The real people in the disability community are in the disability community. They're not the ones coming to the door. But hey, what's up, folks? I got a problem. Same thing with DEI.
Yeah. And that's the point of DEI, right? Is giving everybody everything they need to be successful.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And if that means that we have to stop what we're doing to listen a little longer, to create spaces where people feel comfortable in coming and saying what their issues are. But it's not enough to just listen. We have to do. And what we're seeing is there's been a level of benign neglect towards Black people in general and our children specifically in the school system since Brown versus the Board of Education.
Yes.
And we have to call that what it is. And we have to stop playing with each other and all that good stuff. But Mr. Chastain, I want to get you and James in here. So do you want to contribute, or you have a question for my sisters over here? Or?
I do have a question. You guys are talking about the why the DEI does not work for the Black community, well, for the Black boys. I am so lost with that. How come it does not work? Or why is it geared, as Sis was saying, with the white teachers?
Well, because they're the majority, and that was by design through the Brown versus Board of Education. What they did was they basically fired all the Black teachers and bussed our kids over to schools with non-Black teachers. And then they say, why can't they be successful? Well, you took away their representation. Not only that, you stuck them in schools where there was a huge white flight. So they go into these schools, they are the white folks that were in the schools ran up out of there, and they took the resources with them. So you put them in facilities that were separate but unequal. They were not separate and equal, right? And so there's been this systemic thing that has continued to happen, where we see that our kids are cheered on the football and basketball courts, but when it comes to them in the classrooms, nobody can deal with them because they can't sit still. They never learned how to deal with people who actually have energy and are not cookie cutter box types students that need to be engaged in a different way that they've never been trained to engage them at. And then they want to get mad at them because they can't sit still. Right. I'm gonna shut up. Go ahead. Keep going.
DEI is a little different from affirmative action. You know, DEI, you can be a gay white woman and say DEI. You know what I'm saying? You can be different things and be like, oh, that's DEI. It's not just like directly DEI is for Black people. You know what I'm saying? So I can hire, and
they don't use it for Black people either. But go ahead.
Right. I can hire people from the LGBT community. I can do this and something. They be like, oh, I met my DEI efforts. You know what I'm saying? And then I kind of feel the same way when I say I'm a hood educator. I kind of feel the same way like he was saying. With me coming from the hood, growing up from the hood, being from the hood, going back into these schools, I'm speaking straight from a hood, baby. Not just because I know it, I've been it, I'm there, and I'm advocating for that. You know what I'm saying? My compassion and my empathy for a baby coming from G Parkway, going to Luther Burbank is going to be different. It just is. You know what I'm saying? Some people say grandma got favorites. Hey, you know, and I understand that, because not only that, I know what it's like to go back home to don't have no food. I know what it's like to go home to have my own food stamp. I know what it's like to go home and got to navigate through gang territories, got brothers in the pen. I know what it's like when big homie got killed last week, and now you want me to come down here and say 2 + 2. You know what I'm saying? And so when we created a safe space at Burbank Project Hill, it was for Black babies, because we was a Black educator, a hood Black educator, and that's what we was protecting. We gonna speak up for them. We know how to navigate. I'm finna go to Mrs. So-and-so in science to saying, oh, but he done da-da-da-da. Nah, I mean, all the way to the football team. They was treating the football team bad. I became mama for 36 football players. Like, what? Y'all want them out here tackling, but nobody's giving them lunch.
How about that?
Nobody's bringing them snacks. You know what I'm saying? So now me and Mama P, we got to making sandwiches. We making sandwiches and dinners for babies, because there's no way you got 36 boys out here and not even your coaches is saying, oh, these babies ain't ate today. But only a Black hood educator is going to think about that. Because the athletic director wasn't. She was on her way home. You know, my brother played football.
I think when we think about DEI, we know that these policies these policies have been well, let me back it up. The civil rights movement. Black folks put their neck on the line for the civil rights movement, right?
Neck and bodies.
Neck and bodies.
Neck, bodies, toes, tongues. But we threw it all on the line.
When it came down to it, the civil rights movement benefited other communities.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Black folks.
Yes.
It's the same concept with DEI.
Yeah.
It's the same concept. We know that 88% of teachers in America are white women. How is 88% of white teachers in America going to teach Black children, right? Because if you're not coming from the same community I'm coming from, you don't know my struggles, right? And so we know with DEI in place, there was still an attack on Black children, suspensions, disproportionate discipline policies, a lack of access of A through G requirements, a lack of access to honors. AP requirements and honors classes, a lack of access to culturally relevant curriculum and educators that reflect the population of the students. So DEI was never a policy for Black folks that benefited Black folks the most. But we know with the rhetoric of cutting DEI, if you already have Black children failing under systems that support DEI, what's going to happen when you take it away?
Right.
Already can see.
They open that line back up.
You can already see because we getting kicked off the school campus. I got kicked off the school campus as a felon. But as a felon, this was what
as a baby though. That's
I was
what's crazy.
At 14. The same record that you're saying I can't be on school grounds with is the same record the kids on the school grounds have right now. So you're basically saying by kicking me off the record, when they're my age, they won't be nothing either.
It's the same felony record our president have, right?
Exactly.
And he just got
if we gonna talk about it.
But you want me to believe with me gone that you're going to make them valuable.
Yeah.
When we was the only ones there telling them that
Come
was
on
valuable.
now. Like you said, we disrupted the school to prison pipeline so far. Now they got to fill it back up.
I got a question for y'all.
They moving stuff.
This is a question for both of y'all.
Hold on, because okay, after your question, you gonna jump in right after him, okay?
Add DEI to this, or tell me how this works. This is something I battle with. This is a personal battle of mine, and I'm gonna form it into the best way I can. And you grab the question the best way you can. Ruby Bridges, the walk. So many people are hard on that. Mr. Fox is not.
What do you mean hard on it? What do you mean?
People walk and march and they praise
the performative.
The performative. Mr. Fox wishes that Miss Ruby Bridges would come out and speak what happened when she has. I want her to speak of what happened in the classroom more often of what happened, because that goes to prove you couldn't deal with our babies. When Ruby Bridges actually walked across that thing, you didn't put her in school. You emptied the classroom. You emptied the whole classroom and you put Ruby Bridges in the class herself, and no teachers wanted to teach with her. So they found one that would deal with her and had her in the class with her. Speak on that. You didn't deal with her when she came. We did all that to get her across, but then when it went across, there was no change.
Yeah.
You didn't want to deal with.
I'm going to let Pete take it. Then you open up for Ruby Bridges.
You tell me that how that
spit some poetry
works.
for her or something once before, right?
Ruby Bridges, it looks good. She is young still. Right. She is not, this elderly, she is young and vibrant and does speaking engagements all the time, and that lets you know that was not that long ago.
Facts.
We have to be more intentional about the way that we honor folks and their struggles, because it's one thing to do a walk. It's a whole nother thing to demand that our children have access to a quality education that centers their
100%.
voice and their experience. Black folks love performative gestures.
I can't stand it. And some Black folks, you got to qualify that, baby. I don't like it.
Some Black folks like performative gestures.
Yes.
I'm not about that. I really got to do the work to feel like I'm doing something that means something. And I'm not taking away from any of the, Ruby Bridges walks and marches that have happened over the last couple of weeks. Ruby Bridges was here about 4 or 5 years ago. Roberts Family Development Center brought her to the Sierra Health Foundation, and she talked very candidly about her experience. And her experience being the first Black child to integrate schools was horrific. It was not a good experience. She was treated evil. She was treated very bad. It was diabolical the way that they treated Ruby, Mrs. Bridges in those spaces. Not only did she have to be escorted by
National Guard.
National Guard.
I asked Elk Grove if they was going to employ some National Guard to walk our kids to school. They have yet to honor my request. But go ahead.
They had the National Guards walk her into school. White folks refused to send their kids to school when she was doing that. And she was, in these spaces by herself, like ostracized, isolated. And we know that how hard it is already for Black children to exist inside of these spaces, right? So just to put ourselves into that perspective of what Ruby Bridges had to go through, I think that we have to be real about what happens to a child's emotional and mental psyche to have to navigate these type of situations that are still happening. Schools are integrated, but they are not Black centered.
Right.
They're anti-Black rhetoric.
I only want to add one thing to what you said, because you said it wasn't that long ago. By you saying that, what I seen on picture was those same kids that was in the pictures. They are now old enough to be the teachers in the schools at the same exact schools that they didn't want her in.
Exactly.
And I rest my case
You know,
from there.
Black don't crack. Ruby Bridges still look good. She is she is thriving, and we have to understand that this woman, our elder, is she's not that old, and we're still trying to like contextualize that of
because the pictures are in black and white.
Right. The pictures being in black and white, it's not it hasn't been that long, y'all.
It's I'm okay. Go ahead, James, because I was about to say something else. Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask something real quick. So you know about DEI getting cut. What do y'all think specifically happens? Like, where does the money go? Essentially, what do y'all think? In your opinion, like when it comes to funds being reallocated, where do y'all think the funds?
I'm gonna say a little bit, then I'm gonna give it to you.
I just want the truth. I just want the truth.
We live in Sacramento. That's a sanctuary city. And what we have seen over the last several years is that there's been an influx of refugees coming from Afghanistan and Ukraine.
Absolutely.
You know, not to take away anything that they are going through in their respective countries. We know that the U.S. had a lot to do with their displacement and the politics of war that are happening in those respective countries. What we are seeing, though, is an intentional upliftment of these communities while ignoring the needs of Black children. We are seeing,
and we're continuing to see that,
and we're continuing to see funds, resources inside of school and in the community go to support families that are new arrivals to America, with extra supports, extra systems, extra finances, stable housing, career placement, job placement. And so I think those funds are going to programs like
it's like they corrected everything they did wrong with us with them.
Newcomers program that helps place refugees families in housing. They're getting emergency vouchers for housing. They're getting emergency food stamps and Medi-Cal. They're getting haircut stipends. They're getting additional funds to meet their dietary needs. And again, there's no hate there with the communities, but what I'm seeing is anti-Black policies that help refugee families and students assimilate to this country while ignoring the needs of Black students and Black communities that have been here and are American citizens. What we're seeing in schools is additional accommodations that are being made for students to be acclimated into school, as well as additional funds going into like ELD programs, programs that help CTE and college and career placement. You know, I don't have the specific the specific. They're taking these funds and doing giving them here, but what I have seen is that these other programs haven't got cut, whereas programs like BYLP and SES have. And so where's the recourse for that? Because we were in tons of meetings last year just between the community partners, just with the Afghans and the Blacks, because it was too much going on in the community. What's happening is because they're getting these emergency Section 8 vouchers, they're pushing Black families out of apartment complexes that they've lived in for years. And so that's displacing Black families. And so if I've lived in a certain community for 20, 30 years, and now I can't live in that community anymore, but now I'm still going to school with somebody who pushed me out, because again, we're not getting any cultural context, any type of narrative on now we're going to school together. Why are you wearing a hijab, or why you don't eat pork, or why you got to pray 5 times a day? It's just like dump us all into school together and get along, right? But
and
now,
you're seeing them cater to them. Like the great meat replacement. We just gonna replace y'all for the Black people. We're gonna give y'all the jobs, give y'all the housings. I mean, they could pray. They created a prayer sanctuary on campus for them to pray. We can't pray. I can't go in there and say, I need to do prayer in the morning. Where's my prayer and Bible study in the morning? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're acting out on school. There was a stabbing at one of these schools that the Afghans have stabbed somebody. It was covered up. We didn't hear about it. That would have been a little black boy to stab somebody on campus. It would have made channel whatever all over the world.
Yeah.
Their traumas being covered up. Their violence. Let me call it what it is. Their violence is being covered up. So it's just, to me, it looked like the great replacement. We can just replace y'all. We can replace y'all with our new modern citizens, and we're going to make them look good. Even when it comes down to Lyft and Uber. When we was in the pandemic, black men, black people was making Uber and good money off of Uber and Lyft drivers. They have all been replaced. There's no way that y'all can come to this country, only been here 3 months. You got license. You can be a medical assistant. You can be a doctor. My son took 3 years to get some license. I'm American, his grandma American, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, to me, it's like the great replacement.
Yeah.
We gonna
It's
replace
anti-black. It's anti-black. How do you get rid of black folks without naming it? You systematically give another community the resources they need,
as they've always done.
Yeah. And then if we target them, oh my gosh, we're bad.
Yeah.
We're racist. We're
black
violent.
folks can't be racist.
Right?
Racism
They're going to
involves
get a
power and
bill.
money.
Yeah. So I want to
hold on before.
Don't attack.
So I want to make sure that we put this in context and we don't let people take sound bites from this conversation for their own purposes. What we're talking about is the systemic displacement of families and how we have not acknowledged what's going on in the community, and we've placed them into school environments where violence has kicked off.
Yes.
Let's keep it a buck.
Yeah.
It has kicked
Violence
off.
has kicked off.
And not only have we allowed this thing to continue to happen to the least resource group, it's like we're proud of it. And we continue to do things. That's where the benign neglect comes in.
Yes.
We continue to do things to make sure that Black people continue to be the table that everybody steps on to get ahead.
Yeah.
And we have to call the thing a thing. And I'm so tired of people looking at me in my face, telling me that I can't say I'm Black, that I can't work for Black kids because then I'm discriminatory, without first looking at their policies and actually acknowledging the harm that they've perpetuated.
Right.
Like it's maddening and it's insane to me. And it was funny because I was typing in my chat GPT, because you know that's my homegirl. Chat GPT is my homegirl.
Mine too.
And I said, yo, give me some acronym options for DEI. This is what it is, because it comes in my voice. I want to let y'all know my chat GPT is a Black woman. Okay, her name is Shaughnessy. Okay. So they said she came up with dismantling equity's intent, denying equity and inclusion, degrading every individual, and decorative equity illusion. I said, she must have been listening to me.
Come on.
So this is the thing. When we have systems in place and people in place that are incentivized to keep people in the station that they're in. You ask where the money went, James. The money sometimes goes to the superintendent's salary and the cabinet. Okay. Or it goes to things like, I don't know, facilities, or it goes into special searches to replace superintendents without allowing certain community voices in at the table. I'm not talking about anybody in particular, but I'm saying they find money to do what they want to do. And most of their money is broken down in their LCAP or their LCF. Plus, which is the local control forming funding formula. And what happens is they're supposed to direct certain resources to certain places. And what they'll say is, oh, by this time we'll increase, I don't know, X by 0.2% or 0.02%. Now, whether or not they continue to do that upgrading for 0.2%, which is a very low threshold, right? Whether or not they do that or not, they are still incentivized because they keep funding them. And so at some point, I'm hoping we elect somebody or get somebody in position, or that God just moves and we just dismantle the whole thing altogether. But until we get somebody with some courage to look in there and see how these people have continued to fail year after year without even diverting resources to the group who is less resourced and more impacted by their punitive system, until we have somebody with some courage, we're going to see the same things continue to happen.
Also to your point, even I seen this when I was in college, like even using using Black youth as marketing to bring more.
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah.
100%. I
100%.
despise that. I despise that.
Well, I mean, but when you look at some of these athletic teams, who
I
are the
was just
majority
gonna
of the
say.
children on those teams?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Melissa, I want you to pop in. Who the majority on those teams? When it comes to being performing or the performing arts, who do they normally highlight? That goes from college and up through professional ranks. But come on, Melissa, what you got?
They're Black students. There have been quite a few times on campus where I've been asked if I play a sport because I'm tall, I'm Black, and oh, do you play basketball? Oh, no, I don't. I have actually never touched a basketball in my life. No, I don't. Yeah, they're Black students, and people get to make their money off of them. We're used as performance and entertainment, but not actually seen as people.
But listen though, because you just brought up a good point. They make their money off of them, but when the kids decided that they were tired of being hungry and they went and sold, I don't know, a jersey that they had worn in a game, they get fined by the NCAA, which is also a nonprofit out there, which is making millions of dollars on these kids' backs.
Yes.
And not only that, when it came out where they were able to get those NIL deals, then it was a whole uproar. You know how many people came up to the state capitol to try to fight that bill from going through?
God is so just.
And they're
But you
barely
want them to sacrifice their bodies.
absolutely with no recourse and continue that performance. What they say, run, nigga, run.
Yes.
That's what they say. You know what I mean? Or shut up and dribble.
Yeah.
Right? They don't want you to have an opinion.
Yeah.
They just want to use you for what you're good for in their eyes and then discard you. And that's been the biggest problem that I have with these systems and the way in which they do things. But I want to get some questions in here because we are already running out of time.
Part two with this.
Daniel, do you have a question or anything you want to add to this conversation? Yeah, it's quick.
I did want to comment when y'all brought up taking away resources from young black kids.
Do me a favor. Is he on mute? Sitting next to you? Is he on mute?
There's nobody next to me. It's
Where are you?
I'm like right outside the office. I really. But
Oh.
can you close your door?
By the TV?
Yeah, let him close the door or something because we're getting a whole lot of feedback.
Bobby,
but-
close the door to my office.
Yeah, let's do that.
I think it's a whole lot better. All right. Y'all brought up taking away resources from black kids in schools. I like growing up, I noticed that I noticed that most black kids aren't really in AP classes. And if there is some, there's only like one or two, and they're often pitted against each other. Like who's better than the other one?
Right.
It's something else that I don't really see, and I didn't know like what AP classes were until like my senior year of high school. It's just they need to be shown these opportunities and shown that it's not that hard. It really isn't. You just really need to you just need to pay attention in class. And that's just what I wanted to come back to.
And Melissa, I forgot to ask, did you have a question? Because I know we just sitting up in here in this room and it's easy for us to look across the table and to take over the whole conversation. But did you have a question, love?
Yeah, I do have a question. So the topic of conversation, or at least the title of today's episode, includes the word equity. And I feel like sometimes I've heard people use equity and equality interchangeably. And so I wanted to have our guests kind of define what equity means, but also what it looks like in practice, and not just as, oh, we have equity in our mission statement. Like, what does that look like and what does that actually mean?
Right. Thank you for that, Melissa. I think equity is becoming a bad word. I'm starting to notice when I say it in meetings, folks getting a little frazzled. Like, I cuss. Sometimes I do that too, but I try not to in meetings, at least. Equality is, we all need to be treated equally. that is the definition for equality. Equity is I need the resources to get to the same starting point as somebody else with more resources than me. I think of the visual where the folks are looking over the fence in the little boxes that they're standing on to, somebody got 10 boxes, somebody has 1 box. If I can't stand at an equal start, if I can't start at an equal starting place as somebody that has more resources, more opportunities, more money, a better school than me, that is equity. Equity is really defined as giving somebody the resources they need to succeed and the resources that they otherwise wouldn't have to be on a level playing field. What equity looks like in schools is helping the population of students that need it the most. Helping schools navigate their disproportionate discipline policies, advocating for students not to be suspended or expelled, to have classes on campus where young people are reflected in their curriculum, to have access to books and literature that are not all rooted in sorrow and Black pain. We want to be able to live a life that's rooted in joy and excellence. But a lot of times the curriculum, they're still reading To Kill a Mockingbird in school.
I thought they banned that book.
They're still reading. They're still reading books that center
Huckleberry
Black
Finn.
pain and trauma.
Of
My
mice and men.
daughter goes to school and she's in an honors program, and she is one of the few Black students in the honors program. And I don't know how long we're gonna be in the honors program, y'all.
They don't make it a welcoming place. I took one class.
It's not a welcoming space.
Breaking baby down.
It's more so the curriculum too. And then it's just like, oh, you're one of the good ones, so you got to be able to work harder. And it's like her mental health is deteriorating in these spaces, right? So sometimes honors and AP is not always good for the mental health of children, specifically Black children, because then they're tokenized in these programs. Like, oh, you can do it. And, it's little microaggressions like them not getting my baby's name right or calling her somebody else's name or can my daughter get braids like that? Like she's not the spokesperson for every Black person.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so what we have seen, and I wanted to elaborate on Daniel's point. Daniel said he didn't even know what AP was until his senior year. That is by design.
Yeah.
It is by design that our children don't know what AP classes are, don't have access to honors and AP classes. When you take an AP class, that looks better for college applications. So if you pass the AP test, you get college credit for that class. And so that is by design. That is part of the school to prison pipeline to push young people, to push Black children out of honors and AP classes.
And so equity would have looked like summer year of 9th grade. They would have put a little bit of money into bringing all the parents, like Daniel parents, Black parents in, created something and exposed them to that, right?
Is that like a bridge program?
Yeah, like it could be a Black bridge program. You know what I'm saying?
If they had courage.
Exposing Daniel and his parents and things like now that would have been equity.
Yes. Because that would have gave me the tools and the resources I needed before I started my high school career to understand the classes, the pathways and the resources I need to be at an equal level of somebody that's already coming into school, knowing what the A through G requirements are, knowing they're on an AP pathway. And also we have to also understand that AP classes are also disproportionate. Title I schools, LCFF plus schools,
they don't
have as much access to AP and honors classes as some of the more
influential schools.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all. Some of our BBSN boys are starting to text me. See y'all again. I have a couple questions for y'all later.
Okay.
So we're gonna have to do a part 2.
I always see y'all in the field.
Yes.
We are.
Because
how was that an hour?
I don't know. I have no
Or-
idea. It went really quick.
Wow.
Thank you.
know.
Thank you, brothers. It was good.
And
talking
thank you
with
so
y'all. We
much,
continue to
Melissa
work.
and Val
Yes.
and Daniel. Y'all are
Val,
Thank
beautiful
you.
and brilliant. And we are just I'm so honored to be in spaces with young people that can speak their truth and are brilliant and articulate and just tell us like it is, because I know you've all heard, you speak so well. No, you're just smart and you're beautiful and you're brilliant. And I thank you for telling your story and giving your, real life, real world opinions on these matters, because they're important. And y'all the truth, y'all the future. We gonna be transitioning out of this work, burning it to the ground, while y'all are gonna come and rebuild it.
Yeah. And that says, we like to say, if you got something to say something. So I want y'all to continue to speak your truth, continue to say something, continue to speak up, especially a lot of people from your generation is in tune to other things right now. So for y'all to even be here on this Monday, tuned into what's happening to Black people in education, that's just a honor to me. I'm just in awe. So I want y'all to continue to speak your truth and speak up for yourself and navigating for your community.
And Melissa, keep writing them poems. Keep writing them poems.
We know the baby can speak.
We know.
We know the
I
baby
know
can
you
spit.
can spit. I know you can spit.
So this is the thing, right? I'm listening to y'all talk, and I'm like, should we be collaborating on a Black Bridge program?
Maybe
for the summer for the kids?
Man, we should
Okay.
because they need to know. Like Daniel said, it's no way that so many seniors get to 12th grade and be like, oh, what is it? Oh, what that's what A through G is? Oh, that's what and like start a Black Bridge program so they can even understand, their parents can understand.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna collaborate with our Spark program, our college bound program, and we'll build off of that.
And we can collaborate with our K through
I do have to leave. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for having me.
Thank
All
you.
right,
Thank
Daniel.
you.
All right. So let's say that is in We With It. Okay. So what is it? What happened? What are you doing? So let's collaborate. It looks like UCAN is in the chat too.
What's up, UCAN?
UCAN is in the chat.
What's up, Goody? What's up, sis?
There's the
I see
partners
you,
right
baby.
there.
Let's link up and let's figure out how we get this done for our babies. Because I just we're gonna have to have y'all back for part 2.
Absolutely.
I don't know where the hour went. That I
Time
looked
go
up-
fast when you really talking about some real stuff, huh?
I mean, good gracious. So
when we be sitting in them boring meetings, it be like, Lord.
I think so. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on here. Everybody's trying to figure out because we're running over time. But before I go, I do have to inform you, we are having, we'll be at Sac State on Wednesday, 10 to 1. Come through with your clothing donations. We're going to be supporting the clothing drive on campus for the students of Sac State. So if you have clothing that you don't bring me no trash, but if you have clothing that is gently worn and that you're wanting to donate, we will be at Sac State 10 to 1 at the main quad on Wednesday. So bring your clothing. And then on Saturday, we are hosting our annual Love Thy Neighbor Turkey Drive in partnership with Elk Grove PD. If you have turkey, no, we don't want you to donate turkeys. I want y'all to donate some sides. If you are a person of means in the community and you were looking for something to give out or some way to be a blessing to other people, we are accepting donations for our turkey drive that will be this Saturday, 11 to 1. It is a drive-through turkey drive. You don't have to get out of your car. Just come with your ID. If you have pre-registered, come with your ID, and there will be folks outside to place it in your vehicle.
That could be YLP.
Oh, Lord. It's the holiday
not?
season.
handing
We got
out
some work
turkeys.
to do.
Giving
out
out
turkeys
turkeys to the
So if y'all want to come hang out, the hood of Elk Grove. I'm just
Hey,
saying.
they out here
Elk Grove,
too.
get it
Don't
off the
play
stove.
with Elk Grove.
Yes.
So if you guys are interested and you want to just be part of that, please come through Saturday. Like I said, 11 to 1. We're going to love our neighbors and get them on with their business. And then if you plan to volunteer, we are doing something special for the volunteers, a special Friendsgiving of sorts with the within the office. So with that, we're gonna hit y'all with the peace sign. We'll be back with part 2 eventually. I don't know how y'all feel. Like I know everybody's off next week, but what about the week afterwards? Can we schedule y'all in?
I think we should be okay. Let me
I
look
think
at.
we
Look at we
Check the
synchronizing
schedule.
swatches. And we gonna have more of a flow because we got off on a couple of tangents up in here.
December
That were
1st.
good tangents though.
Is that December 1st?
Yeah, look
Is
pretty
it?
clear. I think
Okay.
the first is because next week is the next week 29th?
Yeah.
No, next week the 22nd, huh?
22nd.
Also 29.
Yeah, I should be okay.
Yeah.
4:30.
Okay,
I'll be
4:30.
leaving Davis about 3:30. So I
Okay.
should be okay.
All right. So we're gonna have them back for part 2 right after the Thanksgiving break. All right. So we're gonna hit y'all with the peace sign. We'll peace out. We'll see y'all next time.
Peace.
That felt like 15.